What is up, and welcome back to the channel. So today I've got a fun little episode for you. Since we got our new Warren Zeon XD installed, the next thing we obviously need is a good recovery kit. So we went to Factor 55 and got a nice recovery kit from them. So I'm just going to kind of take you through a product overview. We'll break everything out. I'll kind of show you how everything's used, just kind of a quick little video talking about how much I like it. And obviously we haven't used it out on the trails yet, but still you can tell the quality is there. And the price was there, so I'll talk a little bit about that too. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so before I even get to the recovery kit itself, we got a few other things to go with the recovery kit, kind of added to their kit a little bit. So the first and foremost is probably the most important part, and what everybody's gonna see is gonna be your shackle mount, your winch line, what's on the end of your winch line there. So this is what's actually gonna connect, you know, whenever you're winching. They've got several different options, a lot of different options actually. We chose the Flatlink E, or their Flatlink Expert. Essentially what this does is it's going to provide a clothesline winching system, which essentially there's no hook with an opening. Everything is with shackles and it's all clothesline. So there's no way that your winch line, whenever you're winching, can slip off or come unhooked, because everything is closed. So it's a little bit safer option. Now they do have a cover plate here, which I'm probably gonna look at getting. What that will do is kind of keep the sun off of your winch line here, keep it from wearing out and weathering, especially, you know, going through the car wash and everything else. So that's something else that I'm gonna order here pretty soon. Just haven't done it yet. So this is just their basic Flatlink E. You can kind of see it's got rubber pads here, so whenever you suck it into your fair lead, it's not gonna rattle and it's not gonna damage your fair lead. So yep, that's the first thing. All right, so this is the kit. This is the Sawtooth Kit from Factor 55. This is their large kit. It's one of their better kits that kind of comes with everything you might need for a recovery situation. So like I said, it's the large kit. The only difference between the Sawtooth Large and the Sawtooth Medium is gonna be the bag here. So the reason, and I'll come back to the bag, but the reason we went with the large bag is because I want to add a kinetic toe strap to this. Right now it comes with a static toe strap. So this is good for, you know, if someone breaks down on the trail and you're actually pulling them for an extended distance off of the trail. This is a good line for that. It can be used for recovery, but it's not gonna give. I like having the options. That's kind of the way I am. You know, one is none, two is one. So I like to have that backup. So say someone's buried in the sand or the mud. With a kinetic toe strap, it actually stretches whenever you're pulling. So whenever you know, back up to them and then you kind of hit it, give it a little bit of throttle and you get that little tug, that little pull, that strap will expand and stretch, and then it'll use that kinetic energy to help pull that vehicle up and out of whatever it's stuck in. So with a static toe strap, it doesn't do that. It's not gonna give, it's not gonna stretch, and you're not gonna have that added energy. Basically, whenever this gets tight, it's tight, and that's it. It's not gonna have a whole lot of give. It might have a little, but it's not gonna have a whole lot of give. So, like I said, just so that I have options, that's why I went with the large bag. Now, speaking on that a little bit, so this bag is very nice. Don't get me wrong. I love this bag. You got, you know, a good big pocket up front, pocket on the back. You got some Velcro if you want to throw some patches on there. On the inside, it's lined with some smaller pockets. So you see you got 3 on each side, kind of varying sizes, and it's a great bag. Now though, after I see it in person, I think I could have fit all this in here and a kinetic toe strap into the medium bag. Now I haven't seen the medium bag in person, so I guess I'm kind of guessing there. This is just a little bit bigger than what I kind of wanted. That's the reason I went with the large, is just because I'm adding to this kit a little bit and I want to have it all in one convenient location. However, you know, you don't have a whole lot of room in a Jeep. You're kind of fighting for space in the back of that. So I kind of wish I would have just stuck with a medium kit. So if you're looking at ordering this kit, kind of keep that in mind. With a medium bag, I haven't seen it in person, but I feel like you could probably fit all this plus another winch line or toe strap without an issue. This one, a little bit overkill, but that's okay. That's all right. All right, so next up, we have the Hitchlink 2.0. This thing is awesome. I really like this thing. Comes in the same kind of anodized red that the Flatlink E on the front of the Jeep comes with. Pretty cool. I really like this thing. I think it might just be aluminum. I'm not real sure. It says it has a max load of 9,500 pounds. So it should be good for any recovery operations. This is the 2.0. I think they have a few different versions. The 2.0 is what comes with the Sawtooth Kit. And then we already have our shackle thrown in there, which comes with 2 3/4 inch shackles. They're already anodized red. I didn't paint these, so they come in a red. And then one thing to note with the hitch link is it does not come with a receiver pin. So you can either get a locking receiver pin or non-locking, whatever. I actually ended up just getting one from Factor 55. So this is one of their locking style ones. Got a cool little sticker on the side. Don't know if you can see it from there, but yeah, pretty nice. And it's got the screw-on style lock on it. So yeah, that's the hitch link 2.0. And then our 2 3/4 inch shackles. All right, so next up is our soft shackles. So these things, man, if you're starting to look for these online, not only do you realize these are super handy, very nice whenever you're in a recovery operation. They're very versatile, very strong, but they're not cheap either. So it's kind of nice. This comes with 2 of them, kind of gives you more options. You've got their extreme duty soft shackle, which is a 3/8 inch by 10 inch. Kind of got the abrasive sleeve, I guess you would say. It's not really a sleeve because it's fixed in place, but kind of got some more protection to it. A little bit stronger, a little bit stiffer. And then you've got their standard duty soft shackle, which is a 7/16 by 10 inch soft shackle. And these things, like I said, they're super handy, very nice to have whenever you're out in a recovery operation. So yeah, I like them, good quality. So next up we have their, what they call a Shorty II. So basically this is just a little 3-foot recovery strap. It's good for, you know, say wrapping around an axle or getting to some of those harder spots. Maybe you don't have a good spot to hook a winch line to. This is the perfect option for that. Like I said, yeah, it's 3 feet. It can handle up to, so if you're pulling vertically with it, it can handle up to 6,200 pounds. And then if you make it a basket, obviously you double that. So it's 12,400 pounds is what it can handle. Super handy, comes with a nice abrasion sleeve in the middle and then your good connections on the end. You can tell that the quality's there. It's just really well made. That is their Shorty II is what they call that. All right, so next up is the simple tree saber. So this is a 8-foot kind of, basically essentially just a toe strap. It does have the protective abrasive sleeve on there. And this is what it says it's for. It's a tree saber. So pretty much you don't want to wrap your winch line around a tree, around a base of a tree, you know, or a soft shackle or anything like that. What this does kind of gives you that wider contact patch on a tree. It's not going to cut into the tree. It's not going to damage your winch line. So you can wrap this around a tree, hook up your shackle to it, and then you're ready to go. Yeah, kind of cut and dry on that. It's just a tree saber, and yeah, it's nice. All right, so next up we have their rope retention pulley. So you can see in there, it's kind of got little rubber things to kind of maintain. So if you lose tension on that winch line, it's supposed to keep your winch line down in the pulley so it's not slipping off. What this is for, if anybody doesn't know, so this is for like doubling up your winch line. Say we've got 10,000 pounds of pulling force with our winch. If we take that to our recovery vehicle and then bring it back and actually anchor it to our Jeep, we double that winch line. You actually double your pulling strength. Or another way to look at it is you cut the weight of what you're pulling in half. This basically takes a lot of strain off of your winch line and makes your recoveries a lot easier if you're in a situation where you can double your winch line. So I can handle rope diameters from 5/16 to 1/2 inch. And also that's another thing to know is this will not work with cable lines. This has to be for synthetic lines only. So if you're trying to loan this out to a friend or something, maybe they're in a situation where they need it, make sure that they've got a synthetic winch line and not a cable winch line because it will not work for that. As far as what it can handle up to 22,000 pounds. Yeah, pretty cool. I'm kind of excited to get this out and kind of test it out a little bit. All right, so next up, well, it's not actually my winch controller because obviously that came with the winch. It's gonna be what they call their strap wrap. So these things are awesome. I actually ordered a few extra just so I would have them. But this essentially, I mean, I don't know how much you've dealt with toe straps and stuff like that, but they're usually a mess. Usually what I end up doing is I zip tie them, but then if I go out on the trail, I gotta cut that zip tie and then, you know, just toss it all back in there. These things are super nice. They're thick, they're good quality. Got a metal buckle here, good strong Velcro, and you can tell they're on all of these. I mean, pretty cool. And it's got a rubber Factor 55 logo in there. I really like them. So I actually ordered some extras, and my old tow strap, I threw one on it, put it back in my truck. As you can see, I was holding my winch controller, had one around there to kind of keep my wires all nice and neat. I guess I'm kind of a neat freak, but yeah, their strap wraps are awesome. I like these things, and they're not very expensive, so I added some extras to the kit. All right, so the last two things that we got is just a basic guide to winching that came with it. Kind of nice to have, you know, especially if you get in a situation where, you know, maybe just a standard winch setup isn't going to work. It talks a little bit about kind of using this, cutting your weight in half. It's just got some basic just winching information in there, which is really nice to have in case you haven't done a lot of recovery operations. So kind of nice that they threw that in. And then last is what they call a fast FID, FID. So what this is for is, say you have a damaged winch line, say somehow or another you manage to cut your winch line while you're out doing a recovery operation. What you can use this for is to actually splice your winch line, a synthetic winch line, and you can actually do a trail repair on your winch line. So if you are in a bad situation, maybe you're by yourself, you're trying to do self-recovery to get out of a situation, and you break a winch line or you cut it on something, well, you can get out and you can actually repair it on the trail with this, which is very nice. And it's got some laser engraved numbers on here. I actually don't know how to use this. I'd have to watch a video and learn how to use this, but I know that your depths of how far you put this in and how it all works, you know, obviously when you're winching, you got to make sure you have a good solid winch line there. So pretty cool. Hopefully we never have to use it. Hopefully we never have a broken winch line, but you never know. So it's nice to have in the kit in case of an emergency. So let's talk a little bit about cost. And again, I just want to pre-tension this cost with saying that I really like the quality of these products. Everything in here is definitely of a good quality. You can tell that nothing is cheap, no expenses were spared when making them. So in return, obviously, you're gonna pay for that. The Flatlink E, so our main part of our whole winching system, what's on the end of our winch line, that was $167. Now, none of these prices, they don't include the shipping, which I know if you wait and find a deal, you can get free shipping. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give you just the base prices. And then next, we'll talk about the locking hitch pin. I didn't think the price was that bad for a good locking hitch pin. It was $53. And then I added a set of strap wraps, which I think it came with 3. These were $20 each, or not each, but $20 for 3. So it was a nice addition. I like having them. And then we'll get to the biggest, obviously, cost of the kit, which comes with everything you see here minus the hitch pin. So you got the bag and all your different straps and your clevises and everything else. So the price on that for the large kit with the large bag was $1,080. So that came out to a total of $1,319 for our full winch kit. Now, like I said, that is very expensive, but if you get out there and you get in a situation where you're using this stuff and you're needing this stuff, especially if you're doing any type of solo recovery, you never know, this stuff could actually be life-saving equipment in the right situation. So I think putting your money into a good recovery kit, it's worth the money. So that's what I did. I went to Factor 55. Again, this is their Sawtooth Kit. So one other thing that this kit did not come with that I highly recommend having in your recovery kit is a good set of winching gloves. It's more important if you're using a cable winch line where you can have those random wire cables sticking out, but it's still important with a synthetic winch line too. It's a good habit to get into just whenever you're handling a winch line, just use gloves. It's safer and they're not expensive, and it's just a good habit to get into. All right, so that pretty much wraps it up. That is our recovery kit from Factor 55. Again, I'm very happy with everything, and the only change that I would probably make is I would have got the medium bag instead of the large bag. I think even adding a kinetic tow strap to this, I could still fit it in the medium bag and cut down on some of the space that I'm wasting in the Jeep. But it is what it is. We got the large. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with this kit. Again, I'm not sponsored by anybody, so I'm not sponsored by Factor 55, but I do like their product. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure you like, subscribe, and if you got any questions or anything about any of the gear here, make sure you throw it down in the comments. So yeah, we'll see you next time.